Hi, thanks for stopping by Blessings Diaries. This is day 19, and today I would like to continue a story that I started a few days ago about my career in storyboarding. And I would like to tell you an extraordinary event that happened in that process. But before, I thought I should probably show you what a storyboard looks like. So this was one of my first ones in 2003. And it's basically a little book that has many drawings and as well as the script of the film side by side that will illustrate many scenes of the movie. In this case, the whole movie was actually drawn to be able to finance the movie, so to present that to investors and show that the director, this young director, really had a very clear idea in mind of what he was going to shoot. And it was used as well on the shooting, indicating to the whole team what the director had in mind and what was going to be planned for this day. So it's also a production tool. So my story takes place more or less at that time. I was a young storyboard artist and I had become very proudly a member of the French Federation of Storyboard Artists. And the federation was organizing many events at that time, especially because there has been a magazine launched about storyboarding practices that was publishing drawings of famous movies and interviews of storyboard artists. So this went really mainstream at some point. And they also organized a conference with some of the major storyboard artists of that time in a book event. And it was a very big event with many people attending. And I was very happy to be able to be there to meet all these very famous storyboard artists that I had not met yet. And one of them was Bruno de Dieuleveult, and he was really the storyboard artist that brought back storyboarding in France after the 1960s. So he brought it back through advertisement. He had worked a lot in advertisement, but he also worked in the film industry. And he was really a big reference at that time. He was really famous among filmmakers, among people working in advertisement, and especially among storyboard artists. He was then taking part in this conference, in this sharing, and he was there to share about his work. And I was sitting in the audience and was very happy to listen to him, what he had to say. And on the way back, I remember I was taking the metro, going home by metro, and I was still in my little cloud, so happy to have met him. And as I was walking on the metro deck, I looked at the very end of the metro deck, and I actually saw him standing there waiting for the metro. So for a second, I was hesitating, should I go bother him? And I thought, okay, let's just go talk to him. And I went up to him and I said, wow, hi, I'm so happy to see you. Do you have a minute? I'm one of your fans and I'm so glad that I get to meet you here now because after the conference he had left pretty quickly. And he gave me his business card and he told me, thank you so much for approaching me and coming to talk to me. And he said, you know, we're not superstars. We're just normal people, and I'm so glad that you came talk to me, and here's my phone number, here's my cell number, and call me anytime, and I would be very glad to meet you, to see your work. And this was such a blessing of a person to have such a mentor in my life. So as he promised, we met for a coffee, but not only this, he continued staying in touch. He wrote me regularly asking news from me, and he's also a person that I got to interview later for my PhD, because I also wrote a PhD about storyboarding, and he also attended my defense. So he was a big superstar also in my life, and I think it's great to have influential people like that who we can look up to. And he also told me something very important about humility. And I remember asking him once, but how can you be so humble, because you're so accessible and you're always lowering yourself and never putting yourself ahead. And in his work, he has a great talent, has a great drawing, but he's never looking for fame, and he's always putting himself behind the director of the movies that he's working with. And he told me once, you know, I might be humble in the film production process, in the methodology of letting the director take credit for many of my film directing ideas that I might be drawing, although they're not the director's idea. But I am not humble in the matter of my talent, because I know what I'm worth. And he said, I know I am the best storyboard artist in France at this moment, and I know my value. And this is what you have to stand on, is knowing your value, but being humble in front of other people. And I thought that was a great message that he left. And unfortunately now he passed away, but he really still has many admirers and fans around. Peace be to his soul. Bye bye.